Okay, let's go. So I managed to get to one of the local game stores, finally got some BT free ins. I grabbed 2 boxes. I don't actually need much from the set. Pretty much everything I know I need, I haven't really looked at everything, is basically a, see if we can, I also got one more box of BT one, and that's pretty much what I need. We'll have to get anything else I need, like, please. You can kind of read it. Camera's just being a bit special, I think. Maybe I could zoom in on that, actually. Because it looks okay on my camera. My actual phone, it's getting very dark. Oh, there we go, that's way better. Yeah, it's way better. Dooba 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 doob. I don't know why it's so kind of shitty on I think zooming is definitely, I wonder if there's a quick zoom in, it'd probably be easier. But yeah, so this box, it's kind of interesting, as it has, so the last, so Fated Clash, which is BT1, has 18 triple rares, which is split among, in simple terms, 6 different colors, right? This has 19 and there's only 5 of those colors in it. So I don't even know what's up with it. You can't evenly divide 19 by 5. So I'm assuming it should be 15, and then if for some reason there's 4 extra cards or something. Not entirely sure. Then we have 14, which I'll compare it to this way I do it. It has 14 double rares, which is exactly the same as Fated Clash. It doesn't have any over double rares because they usually only print for over triggers and like key milestone, like essentially if the first set's still in print, they're not going to put but basically they'll put over triggers in the next set they want as effectively the starting point of the game around when they do more starter decks. Yeah, so instead of that, this set has 15 rare pluses, which I'm going to be curious how many you get in a box, but that's basically all the cards I actually need are in those, as it's all the reprints from, all the trigger reprints basically. Like one of the triple rares might be a reprint as well. But it's still a bit confused, I don't know why it is. Such a weird number. And then rare wise, there's 25, which is 1 more than the other set, and that's probably fine. It's just gonna be just an extra card they put in, and that makes sense actually. It's kind of what I expect, as it means there's 5 single rares per nation. But I don't know why there's a weird number of double rares. I'd almost expect 25 double rares as well. I mean, commons, there's 45, which is a lot less than Fated Clash. Fated Clash is 72, which also makes sense because it's trying to do 6 nations, as well as a bunch of just extra stuff. Essentially, they printed a bunch of rules, text, trial deck cards in it, which probably makes up a decent amount of those as well. And then, special feature, so that this set also has Bang Dream stuff in it. It's got, it looks like it's just, yeah, so the extras are, they're almost all, so every box has one of those extras in it, and they're basically signed Bang Dream cards. And they're all actually worth quite a lot. So like $50 for your box is just that. And some extra parallels, which are just, I have no idea, they seem to be less fancy versions, there's less of them for some reason. Going on to parallels. Oh, there's no energy cards in this set either. The parallels, yeah, This is so weird. There's no DSRs anymore. Instead of that we get a secret V, which is, I think, from the looks of it, it's interesting because it looks almost like it's the cards unit over a background of like a manga page. I kind of like it from what I've seen. It's definitely interesting. I mean, there's 6 secrets. Same amount of double frame rares, which are equal to triple. Actually, no. There's 18 double frame rares if there's 19 triples. I think that triple must be a reprint. That's probably why. Even maybe with the extra rare is also a reprint. That explains why there's only 28 frame rares. And there's also less. There's one less silverware in the set as well. I guess potentially. Potentially silver, like things will get secrets, don't get silvers, potentially, but I don't think that's the case. Yeah, this set is very confusing as it's not very, it doesn't make that much sense in like how many like multiples of certain things there should be. But hello Nero, how are you doing? But yeah, we'll get to it. As for other stuff I need in the set, I'll zoom out now. I just need the triggers, and there might be other stuff in the set I need, but some friends of mine actually need a bunch of the Brad Gates stuff, as we're missing, even though between them they opened 8 boxes, they only got like 2 copies of a couple of things. It's like, okay, so we've got to look for that stuff as well. And then like any like secrets or stuff and what might be worth money would be nice to have. I mean, I might be surprised. So I only really looked at for Brown Gate cards. I never really looked at the other nations. There might be some generic stuff in there which could be useful in a deck. I don't even know if the other actual ride lines and stuff do, but they could be interesting. So we're just gonna have some fun. See what happens. And then from a Fated Clash box, hopefully we just get more copies of the triple rare we need. I got 2 last time. And 2's not too bad, but I think 1 more would probably be good. As they do very similar thing to another card I have 1 copy of, but they do it in a way that uses resources that my deck doesn't need. So I think replacing that 1 card with a copy of the one from Fated Clash would actually probably be smart. As Energy Blast or Chem Blast instead of Soul Blasting, and the deck does need Soul. Also, just to let you know, Nero, after this stream, I'm going to have dinner and sort some stuff out. But I'm probably going to start streaming Lollipop Chainsaw in like 2 hours and 20 minutes time. Unless I'm really tired, then I won't. But if you are still up, then just maybe have a look-see for the stream. Just in case you don't get a notification. Hey, so there's upsides and downsides to extremely slow nights. You're not dying, but you might be really, really bored. But hey, if you listen to stuff on your phone while you're working, like, it shouldn't be as boring as it would be in my job where you can't. We just cry and stuff. Okay. So we got a... That card's interesting. A single rare order, which I think if it didn't use... Okay, but we got 1 copy of a triple rare for Dimension Police, and I know they need 2 more copies, so that's actually good. And this rare single rare is actually kind of interesting. If it didn't use Soul, I think it would probably potentially be playable in Hex Orb. At the same time, there's also need deck space for Hex and Hex Orb, so I was like, I need to figure out. I can go up to here, to my pile of commons rather. Technically rares in this game are basic and commons. Oh no, that's a... It's one of the... the Bangdring rear things. I will put that over here. I don't know exactly how much that's worth. It's not signed, but some of them are. I'll check now actually while I'm here. I have this set open at TCG. Oh, shit. There's always ones have signed. This one isn't. So it's probably not worth as much. We go over here. Oh, okay. So it does look like there's two different versions of each card. I think it just triggers for all girls with a signed version and a normal version. So it's just the normal version of... Where are you? What do you look like? So normal versions aren't too bad. I think, I don't know if it's a good one guaranteed good one, or if you just get one of these per box. There's one with, yeah, it's like $1.60, so it's not too, not ideal, but it's not too good. And all the signed ones seem to be like worth like 30, sometimes a bit less, but some go up to the most expensive. Well, the most expensive signed one is $200 right now, followed by $260 or $160, and they go down to like $20. So I wasn't really paying attention to when they're opening boxes, but I might just. I do like how they don't take up like your rare slots either. It's rare. I guess what we get. Researchers. That's a research card. So in a way, almost free value if it doesn't take up rare slots. Okay. We get a Super Dimensional Fortress and a triple rare. Charge. Dark States. New and plus 4% time because we just turn. That's kind of interesting. Like, just a good, very decent generic support card. It's something that effectively you'd put in a deck if you didn't have space for other things. Or if you didn't have too much actual useful, just non-generic stuff taking up space. There's a frame rare. So, let's go here. Oh, that's not too bad. It's like another cycle of discard from hand, do stuff and get it. So it was a boost for a turn. It's not too bad. So yeah, I'll put that in the. We'll make a frame rare pile. We have a rare and another rare. Image quality does not look good on my OBS. I wonder. I guess it's because this only actually supports. Oh, I think I can go higher than 1080p if I can actually put a plug-in for OBS and do a straight through there, which I guess I probably should do. That way we'll probably get clearer picture quality. That's fine for now. Okay. Sure, we've got another here. Plant token support. A double rare. Place some reading soul charge 1. I guess that's a card people like. Even like they like the look of, but they can't really use it because it's very much a worse version of another card. As the other card basically gets, I think it's called Swirler. Probably has a full different full name, but it gets soul charges 1, I think, and then whenever you soul charge that turn, it gets 5,000 power. So you just have it there, and every time you soul charge, it gets bigger, and this basically gets bigger once when it's placed. But at the same time, you could run both and use it as soul charge. Got it. Right. And 2 more rares. Oh, do I put just single rares down here? And then we'll move things like this, I think. That works. Okay. So that actually we will put a bit R pluses separately, and they do take up rest slots. That way we can have an idea of how much we actually get. That's a black card, so let's see how a dimension place or a dimension place card. So we got the crit. The trouble is I don't actually need the crit triggers because I was able to get tons of BT3, which is separate headwind. So for all the nations I'm actually playing, I have enough. If I want to make, then again, if I do 2 multiple Shokai decks. So that's actually, I can't really complain. So ideally I need patrol triggers for Strokeair and the front triggers for Killer Sanctuary and potentially Strokeairs. I think I have a playset for Brantgate. Yeah, it's a frame rare. I like how frame rares actually take up a 3rd slot. I just 2 1 commons in frame rare, that's kind of neat. Okay, a silver rare drill arm. I guess I thought the silver rares. Right, why are you there? You should be. Silver rares can go into other parallel slot. Because the drill arm's something my friends need. And if we get that, can't complain about that. Double rare, fix here. And this is during a turn, plus rare card from hand other than during battle phase. Engine blast free, perform one of the following, choose all of that. Regular space from drop, put it into your hand. You have a previous control turn. Choose a grade less, 1 or less unit from your drop quarter rare. During turns you form other units. This gets power, so it's almost 10k. You are a triple. That's not a bad card, honestly. He doesn't say normal order as well, so I can get blitz orders out. Rare. Rare. Also, the funny thing of a Dimension Police deck is they can get to, so normally, the player who goes first gets to grade 3 first, which kind of makes sense. Technically they give them to you, they give you on the same turn, so since you get to 3rd turn you get to grade 3, and if you go first you have your 3rd turn before your opponent. Dimension Police is interesting because they have an ability where if your opponent's grade 2, they can go straight from 2 to 3, so they go to 2 on turn 2, if they're going 2nd, once they get to grade 2 they can use that ability and go straight to grade 3, which was interesting. And then in that same match, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I then got, I I know guarded against the grade 3, then got crit and then over triggered, so I took 4 damage. And survived, but survived that attack, but not the actual turn. Which was fun. But yeah, so against Dimension Place deck, you basically want to, unless you're playing a deck that can like a mask deck, which can persona ride your opponent is grade 3 by effects, you basically want to go second. It's essentially there's no, against Dimension Place, there's no upside to going first. If they get to grade 3 first, and you lose out on your turn 1 attack and your turn 1 draw. Because essentially when you go second, you get an advantage of, you get to draw a card when you ride to 1, and you can also attack. The person who goes first can't attack. In that turn. Ooh. We always own this room water trust. It's the Vanguard. Poison Knight of Silent Undercover Mordelian. Water trust, all units uncover plus power. Go to the deck, choose the sun over guts, water trust, throughout any undercover gauges in your zone. On each. Oh, okay. So it puts orders in order zone and then puts cards underneath it. And looks like it can call cards face down underneath it. Or cards underneath it. Oh, that's kind of neat. So it's part of that same cycle as that. Oh, they're all the different boost condition. Other than that, they have the same top effect. And what's this? Yeah, grade 3 move. I just don't know who that is. I think that's the weird fish deck. Or weird the Dragon Knight, the Dragonair deck, I think. That's what Orion reminds me of. Hello, Wonder Dragon, how you doing? Okay. Oh yeah. Let's order. Let's what cards the same card as Spurs. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Don't know how useful it would be in the Bug deck, but it might be okay. Okay, so it does look like just one bang dream card per box, which also explains the EXPs, as they're all technically worth a decent amount. So I guess they're just new cards and rather than just bling. Oh, I can't get into this shit. Open up, please, box, please. Let me in. I am opening 3 normal boxes, which I think it's 16 per box. So I believe, yes, 6 times 4 is 48. Oh my god, can't even get into this box. I need to find a knife to use. Surely I can fucking. Oh, there we go, we got there. We'll check these aside now. Looks like there's only 2 triggers per box, which isn't ideal. They should upgrade for more triggers if I need to. You can go over here. Oh, you can go off on the playmat over here. Probably is a limit per case of the signed ones. And now my friend's got 2 signed ones from their boxes. Okay, so we got a single rare, triple. Showing that the new Vanguard for Dragon Empire. Final plus 2 for each card. Regards for same name, regards for tapping. Oh, it's kind of busy on that your regards. So she can just go to. Oh, it untaps itself. If you Soul Blast 2 copies of it in its deck. So she theoretically, if you had a bunch of cards that could put things from drop into Soul, that could work. It is a silver rare. Front trigger for Wrong Nation. Wrong Nation don't actually play. I still don't have a Dark State deck. One day I might. I probably should get one. Just wish they could have one. That is the Dark State Vanguard, I believe. Your opponent's retired for and try to do a turn. The battle was attacked. Vanguard. Any plus reset your deck. Great. Skylark. Grand Dogman Riders. Tap. Let's stand. Get master out new turn. Shift deck. Oh, that's kind of interesting. There's a way to generate a ton of energy, and then if you spend 4, you can set your deck and drop for a different card and ride that instead as tap with less drive, and I'm assuming that card can then either rides into this again, or my ride back into that on its turn. So cards we can get from these boxes. So the standard like non-special cards you can get the common, rares, double rares, and triple rares, which are standard. The set also has the things called rare pluses, which are just reprints of base trigger units that every deck basically needs, as they're just strictly better than normal triggers. And they do tend to try to reprint. Oh, 2 double rares in the back. Do try to reprint them fairly regularly. And then you can get frame rares and double frame rares, which are a different type of foiling to the standard version of the card with a border as well, which are kind of okay. Not really as good as things they can replace. Then they've got silver rares, which are basically it's hard to say. They're basically they don't have the text box around the text, and then a bunch of the writing on it is silver. But honestly, I'm not a huge fan of them, as they don't really add that much more over like other sorts of cards you can get. That one's a silver there. And then there's secret rares, a weird type of secret rare. And then there's also one per box. There's a Bang Dream crossover card, which some of them are actually worth a decent amount. And the set also has the effectively it's like they do this thing, I can't remember what it's called. But it's essentially a nostalgia thing where they basically they print cards, or like a set of cards that are based on some older cards. Like in this set we have this, which is Dimension Police from old versions of the game. Can't really read it, but yeah. So it effectively means people it sort of incentivizes people who might like a certain thing from an old part of the game, like to get into it again. Also, if you just like collecting it, and then with these, they also have the weird. So how this game used to work is instead of having nations, as we right now have 6 nations, they technically the game had nations, but it didn't actually do anything. And within those nations, you had a bunch of clans, like Dimension Police, for example. Bermuda Triangle was one. There's basically a ton. I would not be able to name them all. And so what they do is when you play the only early version of the game which actually uses them is premium, but effectively in a premium deck you can only have cards from a clan. So you could only have Dimension Police cards in a Dimension Police premium deck, right? And then how this version of the game works, it just has nations. So how that works is any card with like Brown Gate written on it can be used in a Dimension Police deck. But then these cards also have a second, with some of them, not all of them, because this is a support card for it, but it doesn't actually that's a different card. But these actually also have Dimension Police on them as well, so it prevents you using the specifically Dimension Police cards from this version of the game in non-Dimension Police decks in the older version of the game. I guess we just got a non-signed card, which is unfortunate. But it could be quite possibly only like 2 per case. What do you stream on the... I hate that hard, it's more way. On the TV, just here for a second. Oh, yeah, oh good, I'll see you when you put it on the TV. Okay. Oh. Oh. That is a silver rare, and I think it's a silver rare, triple rare. It's kind of neat. So that also counts as the old version of the card. So any boss choose up to 3 cards monster in your name from your job, put them into your order zone. When you regard the monster's name is placed, put a card with the same name as this regard from it. This gets power. This one choose up to 2 cards with monster with different names from your order zone. That's kind of neat. I don't actually know if the original version of that card does so. What's really annoying in basically the YouTube Studio screen, it has the chat. Actually, I'm really confused. Why am I reading that? That's a good one, Dragon. Because I have OBS in front of me, right? Which has essentially what everyone here is saying. So it has a chat, so I can read that. Nothing blocking it, but for some reason I was still reading from YouTube Studio, and in the bottom corner of YouTube Studio there's a little emoji thing, which I don't know what it does. I don't want to press it, but you hover over it and a bunch of things show up, and just like it just covers tiny, because with Wonder Dragon's last message it covers up a B for me. It's just like, why am I trying to read this one to keep it in front of me? I'm sued. I don't know. I'm a bit special right now. Ooh, another triple rare. It's a Shadow Paladin support card. Or rather the undercover deck support card. Right, Divine Sister instead of Battle Sister. Oh yeah. I guess that just in the chat normally then. But it's really annoying having a YouTube tutor when like you're trying to read the chat and someone has a long message and it just comes up off message and it's like why? Can't you put it somewhere else, YouTube, please? Well, I suppose at the same time it is quite easy to see if you are reading that chat, like at least if someone's doing it. They showed up, they won't show up in my overlays chat, but they do show up for me in the studio chat. So probably if you're looking at the chat directly from YouTube, they'll show up. But I don't think the CSS that I'm using will show them up. That show the all the emojis put correctly though. Okay. Got another triple, which is another archive support. Attack, extra point, gets. Actually, does this version of Mont Archive not actually care about orders at all? Because it's really weird. Because it's basically, there's two research decks, right? But use research orders. And apparently this is one of them, but none of these cards actually mention orders. I guess for orders just do monster stuff. But what do you think? You can always build another brand card deck. Oh, that is just normal frame rare. We did. Whatever. So we managed to get none of the triggers we actually need so far. We got 3 in this box though. I wonder how much the triggers are actually worth. Probably not a huge amount. It's a rare plus. Get rid of the EXs. Didn't work. Ah. The cheapest is like $1 and the most expensive is 4. I got 2 copies of the most expensive ones. I can't really complain. That's also one I don't actually need. This pack doesn't want to open. Oh, there we go. Gotcha. Double Andy. And that's the Wanted Tryst card. Doesn't working. Okay. I'm assuming triple rise. This is 5. It's 5 for box still. Hey Crow, how you doing? They're not Pokemon cards, it's more Vanguard. And don't worry, Nero, he's being silly on purpose. It's all good. But there was one card which I think used in a deck whose Vanguard reminds me of Pokemon. Kind of. It's like a weird dragon, but it looks a bit like Dragonair. Or Dragonair and Dratini. Those two, not Dragonite, bro. Oh god. I guess you managed to fail to sleep. I do that all the time, it's really annoying. I think the worst part is when you sleep right. I do tend to take ages to go to sleep sometimes. But sometimes I'll actually go to sleep and wake up after like 2 to 4 hours and then not be able to get back to sleep. Which is so bad when you have to work tomorrow. Because I'd much rather have 4 hours sleep right before I need to work rather than 4 hours sleep with a 4 hour gap between work. Probably deal with a full hour sleep and then like 4 hours before that'll be cool. Onto the fated clutch box. And we got some more Bang Dream cards, Crow. Because the other box has, it basically has like just one per box, and they're like they're all just triggers with different gears on them, and then there's a signed version of each of those, which is worth like absolute megabucks. Hopefully you'll be able to get back to sleep soon, Crow. What the hell happened to this pack? I think I might open that first because it looks a bit special. They were basically pushed up against the divider. Ooh, they're going everywhere. Oh no. Oh no. Looks like everything's okay. You start like... Oh Crow. Oh Crow. Okay. The actual cards in the pack are fine. They are perfectly okay. Oh, I need more copies of that anyway. So we've got I wonder if you can use Bang Dream cards in a normal set. Because you get a ton of effect triggers in a set. And using them in instead that was really good. I got another copy of the Direful Gold Dolls guy. Let me see that. Oh, I need this open. I mean, that works out for everyone if everyone woke up just in time for a stream. But don't worry, Crow, if you still can't sleep, in like 2 hours time I'll be streaming again. Because once I finish this I'm going to have dinner, and then I'm going to start playing Lollipop Chainsaw. As that the remake of that just came out, and it's actually not too bad price-wise. I just bought 3 copies of that. Oh well. Yeah, apparently it's not the best deck, but then apparently there's actually another deck that's actually good right now that uses I think Bind Zone, and it puts your opponent's stuff in Bind Zone, and I think this deck guards from Bind Zone. There's like a counter to that. But honestly, I wouldn't mind. I like the look of the other cards. I just wish he was a cute girl instead of a dude. And maybe I could. I do need a Dark Stage deck. At some point I might decide to do it. I can probably get extra copies of him if I need to. My friend should have spares. Double should go down here. Okay, that's where we go. Yeah, because I do like the actual, the non-him dolls are really nice. I like them. Oh shit. And I basically, if I'd gotten any, because they reprinted the 2 previously printed Dark dolls, which one was one of the special effect heal triggers, and the other one was just a sort of generic soul charge card with some extra stuff. And they reprinted both of them in the festival collection. Unfortunately, I got none. And if I did get some, I probably would have been like, you know, maybe I'll just build this deck. Frame rare. Yeah. And we've got a Direful Dolls Liberator. And honestly, the deck probably wouldn't be too expensive to build. I'm pretty sure he's pretty cheap. He's like I think he's actually the cheapest triple rare in the set. So you could probably build Direful Dolls deck for like maybe like $50. Probably less. Ooh, another Direful Dolls. Okay, got a these, and we've got a silver rare as well. Welstra. I do know someone who plays Welsh, but I'm not sure if he's the type of person to bling out a deck, though. We can find out next week. And I think hopefully we get you another copy of the triple rare one from the set. Yeah. Probably kind of hard to build Token Rainbow these days. I think they might do another set for it though, which might have some new stuff in it. So I think they've done 2 so far in standard. 2 Token Rainbow decks. But I think they were like a while ago they released them. Still might be able to do them. Energy man. PG, I do need more PGs for aiming at triple rare. Okay, that's not good actually. So we've got 3 triple rares so far. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh shit! Never mind, that's not a triple rare. That's something else. Oh my goodness. How much is that worth? Let's change the set. Cardfight Clash. You go over here in the Bang Dream pile. Get rid of these, and here we go. It is a Fated Clash. And then we've got Rarity. EXS. The most expensive EXS card is $120. This one is $33. I'll take that. Yes, it is Masira Kurata. I'm assuming all this Bang Dream stuff, it looks like, based on what all these cards look like, there's 2 specific decks are made out of it, right? Because they have two different backgrounds, which each has a free and some other card, lower grade cards. That is cool. So sure, we didn't get the sign card in the last two boxes, but we got one in this one, so we can't complain, right? Okay. We're going over trigger. Oh, what is it? It is the Dark States one. Not too sure if I have one of those. Might not. Over trigger. Double rear, you go there. No, I'm just gonna find someone who wants that, because I'm pretty sure I can find someone who wants that. There's a lot of people who like Bang Dream. So, yeah, and I have one friend who's basically a literal collector, and he'll basically get all the waifus. So basically, one thing he does is every single, like Pokemon sets and stuff, he'll get all the girls, the guild trainer cards, all the like alt hearts and stuff, and like put them in slabs. As he's who got my Iona I got, which I traded to him for a Madoka SP that I wanted, that he had. It's Suruno SP. This is a double rare. Let's say we don't want that. God damn it. Oh, there's still one more triple rare slot. So maybe we can get lucky. Maybe. Oh, shit. Almost lost the cards. Pack opened up. Now we're upside down. I end up playing, so I made the, why are some of these upside down? I'm so confused. I have these in the wrong place. Yeah, I made a, I put together the trial deck I bought. I got the lyrical trial deck, or startup deck rather. And it's actually pretty good. I had to just go playing it today, and it's actually pretty good. So I really like this Perfect Guard. I really want to use it. This looks so nice, but I actually don't have a Dark Stage deck to put it in. So that's one thing I actually do need to figure out. Like, I need Dark Stage deck. And I could probably put together Daffodils. I don't know how good it is. And part of me wanted to play Greedon after I started catching up on the anime finally. And I got to that episode with the annoying kid, the bratty kid, and the monk guy. It started making me want to play Greedon. That's probably not very good. But it'd be really hard to build a Greedon, I think. There's just too many cards from older sets, as I need to get. I think I actually kind of prefer the older Greedon rather than the mask one, just because if you can get enough soul, like that 15k power is pretty good. Oh, okay. We get another version of a Stroke version. Sad. I wanted the Kita version of that card. I could still buy another box. Only 120. Maybe. I need to fill out. I chose also to save up for the next lyrical set comes out at the end of the month. Ooh. There's kind of the last one, and so I chose one choose someone card called from his soul code. It's kind of cool like that. She's nice. I guess, like, I think all the Power Moon cards actually look pretty good. The one thing I so want is you have like I don't know if you remember them, but like for Grand Blue, right? They used to have like some, especially for the one card I can think of is one of the G Guardians, and she's a ghost girl, but she's dressed up as a pirate, and it's all like Victorian sort of clothing and stuff. And that looks amazing. I love standard ride line with one of like something like that. It's basically a Shokei Ghost deck with all pirates, but all dressed up nicely. That'd be amazing. Your frame rate, you should be over here. And I was wondering about why we were getting cards that look like Eugene support, and it turns out I think they have officially spoiled it as a new Eugene coming in set 6. Not that I play Eugene, but still. Wait, that's another triple rare. It's a 6 triple rare box. God damn, it's still a wrong card. It's the right nation, right grade, but wrong card. Why? Why do this to me? Maybe I can get 7. Probably not. Favorite deck in this format? No, it's tough. I do like the prison deck, but it's not... I think it seems to be okay now, and it's getting some support. But for a while, it was absolutely terrible, because it had no way to draw cards. So if you remember that episode of World Dress, when Tamari like absolutely loses towards the end to I can't remember who, was it World Dress or something else? She loses, right? And it's like, oh yeah, she loses to the devil, the Helene, or wherever she is, the bad guy, the little girl bad guy from World Dress. Yeah, and what I like about the episodes is they were willing to show how shit the deck was, but she just runs out of cards and can't win. Like, she literally loses because she has no cards and can't attack. But they have fixed that by giving us 2 cards that actually... I'll go through it and show you, actually. Ooh. Yes, I think this is a 6 triple. There's 5 normals and the silver rare triple. Okay. You can go there as well. Ooh, vibration in this file. That's wow. And from set 3 we got almost no cards we actually needed, but we got 2 cards that some friends might need. So you can't really complain, can you? Stick box. And other than that, I play a bunch of lyrical decks. I got a Lorano deck, which is the singing deck, which is kind of I do like. I think it's even though it hasn't had some new support in a while, which is kind of good. So I got the DSR. I had to zoom in actually. Okay. And then, so the cards we got. So we got this came in BT2, which is actually sort of what got me back into the game. And I basically bought a playset of these, which is basically energy sport and kind of helps. Then we got this card in BT12. DBT rather than DZBT, which basically it's extra way to prison. That's also you can even if you can't imprison something, so essentially if something else is put in prison this turn, you can counterblast 1, put something another rearguard in prison, but even if you can't, you look at top 5 and call something to rearguard. So it's a strict card advantage, which is great. And then the other new card is this, which is both, it's a prison and Welsh to support. So if your order zone has, it would work in the top ability would work in or research decks as well. Actually, no. It would work in monsters as well, even if it's like, yeah. But essentially, if something leaves your, essentially, if on your opponent, it works in any turn. When any player's unit is placed in rear guard from your order zone, you may Soul Blast and draw a card. So it works in a Welshter when they get their own, they operate the, I can't remember what they're called, the thingies to do stuff. You can do it. It works in prison on your opponent's turn when they Soul Blast, when they get their stuff out of prison. And it would work in the monster deck when the actual Vanguard calls some monsters from the stuff, from their thing. I think that's, yeah, so that's 3 decks it works in. That's actually pretty good. And that's the main cards that actually made the deck decent. Other than that, it's just mostly all older cards. I think this was decent actually. It's BT10. And it's essentially, it's nice because it imprisons from a drop when you play it. Which basically means it's hard to get around because usually you can avoid getting stuff imprisoned by either, there's a bunch of ways, but essentially you can just not play a bunch of units until you absolutely decide to go off and kill them. And I also got this, would let you play the grade 3 or grade 4 on turn you haven't ridden. You can just search for your drop soul or deck for it. So you can basically just, yeah, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, because previously, in order to get around people trying to play around us, we had to play with 2 cards. Still got the other one in the deck, right? I don't even know if I do. Oh yeah, these two. Yeah, so this one was this is a promo. So these were actually, I think I got them for $10, but I think at that time they were still worth like 20. And that's where you Soul Blast and put the top card of your opponent's prison top card of your opponent's deck into your prison. And then you also have this girl. Basically, your opponent puts a card from hand into prison and they draw a card. So those were the only ways to sort of get around people just not playing stuff to put in prison. But now we've got a bunch of stuff we just put stuff into from drop. So that card as well as the new card as well. Which also draws your card of Energy Blast. And she also restands when you have Seraph attacks. If you have 5 more in prison, you counterblast and restand her. It's really, really good. There's a previous restand that we had were basically, it was Counterblast 2, and then you had to put a card, I think your opponent could grab a card from their prison and put it into hand. So if they, for some reason they had a PG in prison, they can just grab that. And it also potentially, if you only had 10 cards in your prison, you'd lose your crit, as it happens. Yeah, so that's my prison deck, which I guess, I'd say it's my main deck, even if it's not always the best. I mean, I've got, for Lyrical, I have Kayuka, who I do really like, and she's a lot better now with, Biran has a very good taste in decks then. And she probably also keeps people in her basement to, make them no longer delinquent, so be careful around her basement, okay? Yes, I got Kayuka, who's actually a lot better now with the DZ BT2 stuff. As a made from like a deck, what was, if it worked, is really good, but almost never works because it's not consistent. It's essentially, it wants to check top 5 for like magazines, like either a card of a grade you name or a magazine. You had 4 magazines, but now you can run up to 8 magazines and 1 card that counts as a magazine. Oh, nice. And it's good. There's actually, I think the prison deck right now is actually not that bad if you get all the support for it. So, and a bunch of the promos are really cheap because they reprinted them. But they made them as box toppers. So, yeah, it's actually really cheap to get a proper deck as well, I'd say. Probably, I wonder what's the most expensive card of it. Probably the new card or Pure Lights, but I don't think Pure Lights are that expensive. Let's check. So we get rid of this. this. Pure light. Well, I'm assuming you and Buran live in, like, are you guys IRL friends or just internet friends? If you're IRL friends, I mean, you'd have someone to play with. Your pure lights are only $7 right now. Yeah, $7 to $8. That's not too bad. Yeah, and then yeah, so with lyrical, I got Laurel, Koka, Mitru, which is currently it's okay. I'm missing 3 copies of Second Cannonball. So the new support that comes in the next lyrical set is gonna help it a lot. Yeah, so as you can get to convince her to build a prison deck in real life, you can actually have some opponent to play. And also, once she's into Vanguard, you'll be able to infect her with different decks. Or just let her borrow, like, so that way there's a variety if you build more than one as well. And then, once there's 2 of you, you can maybe try to find other people. Or convince people at local game store to pick it up. You never know. Yeah, so Mitchu, who's getting upgrades soon. I have Prison. So the Labrador, or Prison Promise rather, deck. Which is, like, we're getting more prisons. So we're getting Prison Image in the next set, but none of the Prison Image cards can actually work in a Prison Promise deck. Because it's stupid, and we don't want them to be too strong. And then Vert does, like, Vert's interesting. So she doesn't do what she should be doing, what she's supposed to do, which is she used to be when you ride upon her to do a bunch of stuff. But instead she does effectively the same ability as the V Riveria, but because it's not V, you don't get imaginary gift markers, so it's not broken. It's actually kind of bad. Okay, so Wonder Dragon, there's both a prison deck, which is this one here, which puts stuff into prison, and then there's also, I'll just grab it up. Oh, do I have anything closer? Actually, yeah, this will be closest. It's time to grab some SPs out. Like Prism as well. So Prism as in, like, you put people in jail, and Prism as in the colourful, the crystal you can shine light through and get all colourful. And this is Vert. So Vert is a member of Prism. Essentially with Prism, it's an idol group with 5 distinct groups in it, which is for every single letter, so P, so it's Promise. I can't remember the R. Is it Roman? I don't know if R. The Image is I. I can't remember S and M either. But yeah, so she's the leader of Prison Image, Vert, who's getting a new card in the next local set, but kind of sucks. But yeah. So, yeah, there's both Prison and Prism. Where was I? Yeah, so I got a Prison deck. I technically can play Pacifica, and it is getting more support. But at the same time, most of my cards are Pacifica in my premium deck. And then I also play Hexa Orb Sorceress in Keta, which I think is actually pretty good right now. It hasn't had much support recently, but like that's what we've been trying to get cards for it. That's basically what we've been chasing. All the cards we've been looking for in the last few boxes have been opening up in upgrades for Hexa Orb. I technically have a Gandiva deck for Dragon Empire, but not really my thing. But I guess in a way it's probably more of my brother's deck. And then for Strokea, I have a Magnolia deck I actually enjoy. Still missing the grade 1 retros for it, but it's Magnolia Masks. But other than that, I have pretty much everything, and it's kind of, I do need draw triggers for it though, which we didn't get. Because that's basically what I was looking for in the BT3 boxes. And then I have the second version of Zorga. I can build a basically decent Zorga deck with the second version of Zorga, which I kind of prefer over the Mask Zorga. But now that we have the new Zorga, it's just like, I'm not sure how competitive it would actually be. I could still probably put it together. But yeah, because I don't have access to any of the new Zorga stuff, because we didn't have access to BT2. And I don't think it's worth buying just for that, especially when I do literally have every card I need from BT2 other than Zorga I have. So I have the Prism cards, or Prison cards, and the Koyuki cards. So I think that's everything, right? Yeah, I'd say my main deck, even if I don't always play it, is probably the Prison deck. And I just have a bunch of decks and I could just play whatever I feel like every time. I definitely do want to build Dark Stage deck. I just don't know what I want to build. And honestly, if no one else is building the monster deck, I might build a monster deck. I need to find out. So I have a friend who has Eva, which is the research deck, then the non-monster research deck. And he'll probably know if anyone's actually building the monster deck. Plus he might have spare copies of Monster Order. Because he was playing Monster Order as a placeholder instead of the grade 1 order. Because he couldn't get promos for it. But I think he's still playing for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this will be the end of this stream. I'm going to go have some dinner. I plan to play some Lollipop Chainsaw in an hour and 15 minutes-ish, roughly. So I'll be back again if everyone's still awake and still up and wants another stream to watch. But thank you for coming, everyone, and I'll see you then. If you can't make it to that, I'll probably see you tomorrow night for something that I'll figure out tomorrow. And yeah, I think the next box openings for Vanguard will probably actually be when Lyrical comes out, so next month, or end of the month / next month.